A Clark man is behind bars in Cottington County, accused in ATM fraud incidents.
33-year-old Jose Burgos Parkway was arrested for grand theft. Clark police say this is part of a joint investigation with Watertown Police.
Both departments got reports of unauthorized withdrawals at multiple ATM locations in the state. Authorities say Burgos Parkway allegedly used debit cards to get the money.
Police say he is being held on a $2,000 cash bond. Officials say more charges may be possible.
Governor Larry Roden is calling for an investigation into Mayday Health's abortion ads in South Dakota.
Starting this week, Mayday Health says these posters will be going up at 30 gas stations in 20 South Dakota cities. However, Roden says the campaign may violate South Dakota's anti-abortion laws, so he's asking the Attorney General to investigate.
Marty Jackley has agreed to review the ads, saying all campaigns, no matter the issue, need to follow state laws and fair trade practices.
President Trump announced on Monday that $12 billion of government money will go to farmers. Tariffs and uncertain prices have taken a toll on many U.S. farmers.
Although South Dakota farmers appreciate the payments, they're looking for more permanent solutions.
Now that negotiations have opened up again with China, it's going to help stabilize the market maybe, but we got a ways to go yet, and we'll see how it all turns out. And hopefully we get into a long-term fix instead of a short-term fix.
Farmers can apply for the one-time payments, which will be received in February of 2026.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Mundt. Good morning, Scott.
All right. Good morning, Travis. Good morning, everybody. We are following steady temperatures as we do go through the day today. Numbers, teens, 20s this afternoon. Also watching for a little bit warmer weather across western South Dakota as we'll try to get to the lower 40s today in Rapid City. And that eventually comes with a chance for a wintry mix late in the day today in western Kettleland. And then we'll watch for the ice potential tonight in central, east central, and parts of southeastern Kettleland. And Brian will talk more about that coming up.
All right, thanks, Scott. A new space within Sanford Health will soon open, specializing in emergency care for children.
The David H. and Christine Billiam Pediatric Emergency Department will begin taking patients on January 5th.
Aaron Sanderson, the vice president of the Sanford Health Foundation, says this space was made possible thanks to the community.
I think it was a no-brainer that when we launched this project, people were going to be supportive, but you can tell just how passionate people are about emergency medicine, because I think we've all experienced something where you have to enter an emergency department for whatever reason. And once you do that, you realize how caring for a child isn't like caring for a tiny adult. They have a whole different level of needs. They're quite literally a different size. They need different specialties.
Sanderson says Sanford is also home to the state's only 4 fellowship-trained pediatric emergency specialists.
The St. Francis House in Sioux Falls received a special surprise just in time for Christmas.
The Quilting Club at Active Generations in Sioux Falls made 180 Christmas stockings for the guests of the St. Francis House, but the nonprofit did find a way to return the favor.
Center for Active Generations made these and brought them to us, and then we had excess blankets that we had, and we gifted to them so they could give them out to the seniors when they did their Meals on Wheels. So it's all about us working together and bringing the spirit of Christmas to the people we serve.
The St. Francis House plans to stuff the stockings with socks, deodorant, toothbrush and toothpaste, and even candy, among other items, and will hand them out to the guests on Christmas Day.
Bob Dylan is bringing his Rough and Rowdy Ways tour to Sioux Falls in March.
According to the Washington Pavilion, the tour will highlight music from Dylan's 39th album, Rough and Rowdy Ways from 2020. The 90-minute show is also expected to include other standout moments from Dylan's catalog.
Tickets go on sale to Washington Pavilion donors December 10th, VIP and Washington Pavilion members and subscribers on the 11th, and the general public on December 12th.
That is a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another check of your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right. Well, recapping the wind from the overnight, peak wind gusts were indeed over 70 miles per hour from Aberdeen to Sioux Falls down to about Sioux City, Iowa. The highest number we could find was Henry, South Dakota at 77 miles per hour. That was a DOT WeatherNet sensor there. Otherwise, Sioux Falls at the airport was about 71. So big wind. Thank goodness we locked in a lot of the snow. It was just warm enough yesterday. We hit 45 in Sioux Falls. We maximized that warming, so that at least was helpful there. But we've got more travel troubles ahead. We're emerging here with a system that's moving into the forecast here for tomorrow. Already we've got some headlines for that. Winter weather advisory is in effect starting at 6 p.m. this evening for northwest South Dakota, extending to Pierre, and then that story is going to really pick up through daybreak tomorrow morning. Let's start off here, 6 a.m. Thursday morning. What are we dealing with? Well, I think right now probably some ice in the morning along the Missouri River Valley, and then snow will be on the colder side of that to the east, and then some rain showers in parts of western South Dakota early. But that too will move east as the weather is warming in western South Dakota. We're forecasting 60 in Rapid and possibly low 60s in winter. So it's a day where we've got headlines, but only in certain times of the day. And the snow and ice in Sioux Falls probably is more of a story late morning and early afternoon. I think there's the potential there for some accumulations as well of snow. But as we're warming, we're probably going to go over to a little bit of that ice. And that is never a fun subject. There's a closer look at the glazing potential. It runs diagonally from Mobridge to Huron to Sioux Falls. So that's kind of where we're locked in right now. We'll give this another look, of course, throughout the day. So make sure you're checking back in on the forecast and the timing details. And then you see the snow falling just a little bit farther east, where the depth of the colder air is sufficient for more snow tomorrow. Here's a look at temperatures. Today we're forecasting low 40s in Rapid City. Sioux Falls will probably be stuck in the low 20s this afternoon. We are forecasting mainly a quiet late afternoon here across our region. And one thing too I will mention here in the forecast is the potential here for these temperatures to really swing again later in the week, because remember, Rapid's going to go from 60 tomorrow back down the temperature scale into the weekend. In fact, the coldest air of the season will arrive this weekend. Here is your 7-day forecast. Sioux Falls, we're going to go with 4 degrees on Saturday. And yes, another chance of snowfall. It looks like there will be some accumulations with that system as well. Aberdeen in the northeast, we're looking at temperatures falling to 1 degree on Saturday. Little light snow with this system. Could be down to 20 below zero by Sunday morning. That's another story, not just the wind chills, but just the plain temperature being that cold. Pierre, central South Dakota, 10 degrees on Saturday. Again, a ribbon of snow will move in for the start of the weekend. And Rapid City will also deal with some wintry weather on Friday and Saturday. That's a big difference from our high tomorrow at 60. More details at KELOLAND.com.